who were absolutely the leading edge of this from the point of view of melatonin were DARPA, the US military sort of think tank. Yeah, and a lot of the stuff with them was coming out of the military before it then went into the world of athletics, before it then crossed over to everyone else. It really seemed to be following that line. Can I ask, is that still the case? Do people still, in terms of where, so let's say a mainstream audience might look to you, and probably would do, as being very, very leading edge and a voice of authority. Where do you look for your voices of authority, should we say, or your advice?
Oh, good question. Where do I look? I suppose I would look to other elite athletes and coaches that I sort of follow. Yeah, I mean, the folks that are sort of writing the most interesting, doing the most interesting research on endurance sports training. And that's where I do sort of most of my poking around to try to find ways to train myself better. Mm-hmm.
And can I ask, are there any particular, therefore, sort of websites or magazines or podcasts that you access for that information?
Sure. Let's see. I read a lot from David Attia. Let me try to get these names up for you here. Peter. So Peter Attia, Attia.
Yeah.
He's a doctor. You've probably heard of him.
Okay. No.
And there are a few others. I'm terrible at remembering names. I wish I may have to sort of think about this and then send that to you.
Oh yeah, sure.
I'm having a hard time coming up with that.
No. I know it's a nightmare. I know when you put on the spot, it's always impossible to think. But if you could do that, that'd be very, very helpful. Sure. Any sort of interesting names or podcasts or whatever, or things that spring to mind, that'd be very helpful indeed. Thank you.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay. Like I said, just the last couple of things. I think it'd be really, really interesting. What about this use of, let's say, how informed are the athletes when they come to you? Is it a case that a lot of the people, are, literally ill-informed or misinformed, and you're acting as a classic, if we say the role of the teacher talking down to the person, or is it more of a dual sort of eyeball to eyeball thing, helping each other, or how does that sort of relationship or transaction work? I wonder how informed people are nowadays, and if that has changed.
How informed they are around nutrition?
Yeah, around nutrition. So is it the if you like, if I could loosely term it as the if you say not the everyday athlete, but the person who wants to step up and become healthier and fitter and all the rest of it, now compared to if one can imagine that sort of person 5 or 10 years ago, are we dealing with the same person, or is the modern version of that, are people just more informed now, or perhaps not?
I would say they are probably more likely to be misinformed. I think most athletes sort of on a mission for endurance sports are kind of looking for the edge. They're looking to do something a little different than everybody else. Like, there's got to be, if I eat this at this time and do this thing, that's going to help me get better. They just have a tendency to kind of be looking for those secrets, which may or may not exist. The average person that comes to me, maybe on a mission for, weight loss or habit change, or even just how to fuel themselves for training, come with a load of misinformation.
Oh, that's interesting.
That they must become fat-adapted athletes, that carbohydrates are evil. And then as an endurance sports athlete, I am constantly having to sort of tell people to eat more carbohydrates. And that's a struggle. It's hard to get people to kind of change their minds about it. the idea of sort of balanced nutrition, which is what I firmly believe in, has kind of, it seems like such an easy concept, and it's been so confused. I spend a lot of time sort of unconfusing the issue.
Yeah.
Right? There is no magic. That people are sort of always looking for the magic bullet, right? Like, if I eat like this, I will be better. I will lose weight. I will be faster. I find that almost 100% of the time.
Wow, that's very interesting. Very interesting, because I think that's fascinating, because then when one looks at many reports from the advertising industry, they always go on about people nowadays are, self-prescribing, everyone's their own doctor, and yet you're saying the people that are presenting themselves to you are, misinformed, looking for the magic bullet that isn't there.
I do think so.
Absolutely.
There's probably more to it too. I find, and I imagine this has probably been going on for a very long time, but people who are sort of on a mission for weight loss have been on these diet roller coasters for years. So this pattern of misinformation has been going on for a long time. I don't have many people coming to me that want to balance their diet. Like, I've been on the diet roller coaster for forever, and I just want to eat normally. That doesn't happen. I'm on a diet roller coaster. I've been on a diet roller coaster forever, and what's the next one I should go on?
Okay. And then last question, and what about people coming to you saying that I'm coming to you not because I want to be directly physically fitter or look better or whatever, but because I have a mental problem, a mental illness, and I think that getting fitter will help with that. Does that happen at all?
Maybe not outright, but I certainly do run into it along the way. A lot of people who are tackling ultra distance or endurance distance races, sometimes there's a little something that's driving them in the mental health arena, wanting to either escape a different type of addiction or use exercise as a mental health prescription. Sure, I do see it, but not a lot.
Very, very interesting. Well, look, thank you. That's been very, very helpful, and thank you for talking to me this evening for me, daytime for you. Very, very helpful. And so, if you would possibly just send me over a couple of those names that you mentioned that you would try and track down after Dr. Peter Attia, that'd be really, really helpful. So thank you. It's been very, very useful. And
I hope so.
That's great.
I'm not sure what I could provide for you.
No. Honestly, it's one of those things that it's fascinating. Literally having these sort of conversations with people in different cities around the world, and so everyone always thinks, have I given you enough information? But actually, it's incredibly interesting just how a swift half-hour talk with people who have different expertise in different areas can really build up a really, really fascinating picture for us. So,
Good.
Very, very, very much appreciated. So,